It is time for me to do many things, ladies and gentlemen. One of them is write the review for this Zevia 0-calorie soda cran raspberry. And another one is to answer one of my 250 philosophical questions, this one being, what role should society play in human behavior? I also should probably shave. Anyway, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. That is across all 6 of my channels. So yes, I have pulled more trash out of the ocean than half a pound. As I am filming this, I have a little over 500 subscribers on this channel. Keeping it strong. Anyway, so yeah, what kind of a role should society play in human behavior? The role society should play in human behavior is primarily to protect and regulate supply. Okay? Society, at least our modern society, stops us from starving to death. And I mean, people don't really think that much about it, but you know, one of the things I was asked to do by a subscriber of my other channel was to review Those About to Die, which is a television series about Rome. Okay, and one of the things that happened often in Rome is they ran out of food and everybody starved and started rioting. It was said of the Great Siege against Rome that, a gladiator was killed and one of the people said, how much for that meat? We're starving, we're going to result to cannibalism. So that's one of those things about our society. I mean, we should really be thankful that we live in a world where there are food recalls and food is well regulated. Because I have watched a lot of news reports that say that food in China is really terrible. I mean, there was reports of counterfeit donkey meat. And, I mean, in America we don't eat donkey. It's just not something we do. In China, they eat just about everything they can get their hands on. And part of the reason is that that's just always been their culture. In the Eastern culture, one, you eat what you treat. So, if you got eye problems, you eat eyeballs. I mean, it's not human eyeballs, I don't think, but animal eyeballs. And if you eat a ox's dong, you become very virulent, and your dong stands up, because that's what ox dong is supposed to do to people. Ugh. But a lot of things that are happening there appear to revolve around people finding cheap ways to procure food items. Gutter oil was a big one for quite some time. They would find oil in the sewer that was passed by the restaurant, and then they would bleach it so it looked the right color and sell it on as oil again. Cooking oil, and people would cook with it, and, obviously it doesn't make you very healthy. But one of the things that happens quite a lot in China is people have to eat bad food because it's the only food they can afford. Now, here in America, there's bad food. I mean, food can be quite disgusting. It's one of those things about us as a culture is, in the early part of the 21st century, we began looking at our food and saying, food should be food. This whole thing about food being food is important. This is why sandwich chains like Subway no longer places edible plastic in their bread, because we want the bread to be made of food as opposed to plastic. So that's just one of those things, and that's a big point on society. We as a society have said that in order for you to make food, you have to tell us what's in it. And it has to be safe for consumption. So that's a primary function in human behavior. In addition, our society is supposed to stop us from hurting each other. I cannot go burn garbage in my backyard. It is illegal because it would bother my neighbors. I cannot go shooting guns in my backyard. It's illegal because it may endanger my neighbors. This is the world we live in, and it is an ugly world, but, these regulations are designed to protect us. That is one of those things about human society. I mean, people are saying, there's a debate over whether or not you should be able to own an assault rifle. Well, nobody needs an assault rifle. But then nobody needs a Doberman Pinscher either. You don't need an attack dog. They have attack donkeys. They have attack geese. So it is questionable, although I would have to point out, if you're going to own firearms, there should be regulations. You shouldn't be able to own firearms willy-nilly. We should know who has them and what they are. And if a crime is committed with a firearm, we should be able to find out who did it. That's the world we live in. Or at least it should be. So yes, primarily the role of our society should be to keep us safe and secure, to create laws that continue the function of society, to make the world go round. There are places in this world that are failed states where the government has broken down. You don't want to live there. Neither do I. Anyway, I'm Richard. Hey, Astro, did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Yeah, Nance, I heard the food was good, but it had no atmosphere. Now that was a corny joke, but you know what isn't a joke? A clean environment. And this channel will buy one of these bracelets I'm holding from 4Ocean for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. So you should comment, like, and subscribe. Support us so we can support a better world.